do you find that because of your business strategy, you attract people that already kind of believe this, or are you able to take people that maybe don't believe it and change their minds?
No, I don't try to change anyone's mind. That's a fool's errand. If somebody understands the relationship, the value of relationships, we're going to get along great. If they want to, for example, launch their book and do a whole digital campaign and never do an in-person tour, never talk to one person, a center of influence about their book or their message. If they're too shy to pick up the phone and call somebody or speak at a conference, then it's not in our lane, right? So nothing wrong with digital marketing, by the way. I still love it. I love using AI. I love the hooks. I have a CRM. I have all the tools that we've used, but I don't use them to build relationships. I have a saying that we use AI, but we don't let AI use us.
Yes, you actually had an interesting quote on your website that automation is great for efficiency and horrible for building relationships.
Exactly, right? And
I was like cheering, especially because we are in the era of AI.
Yeah. No, we're just beginnings of it, really. And, I get the feeds, right? I don't unsubscribe to things too quickly, but I get these feeds about, hey, I can have this AI sales agent, this AI bot. AI can dial and talk to your customers. And, they're going to be people pretty soon. They say it can close a deal for you. Maybe it already has. And that might be true. If I'm going to sell a $10 book, maybe AI can do point A to end, introduction, nurturing, and closing on a $10 or $20 item. Nothing wrong with that if it works. That's just on the playground where we live in. I live in an area where I'm going to help a founder or a CEO of a company, brand their message, ghostwrite a book, become a thought leader in their industry. And that always comes from a relationship with their audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. And I don't know that AI would be very effective, honestly. Maybe someday it would be. But
I'm a science fiction fan. I can see in the future where we might not be able to tell the difference. We already are getting fooled with some deep fake stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning. So maybe in the future, I will be 100% wrong. I'm not opposed to always challenging my beliefs, but I won't jeopardize my values. There's a big difference.
And that's exactly the kind of thought leadership we need going into this technological era. So I appreciate that very much. Yeah. I'm going to wait for the robot maids and the Jetsons cars, and we're just not there yet.
Let's start with those first. Yeah, the maid and some of the tactical, boring things like my team used to labor through doing data research or finding speaking gigs for our clients. I'm like, just go to AI. It can pull up every single gig opportunity right now for you. So it's a great tool for research data and even for some copywriting and some things we do at a light touch, but connecting with a human being with their core origin story, developing drama, communicating with their audience at a empathetic level. Come on. AI is a great, fast tool, no doubt about it, but it doesn't have a soul, doesn't have any experience. It's just regurgitating our experiences.
Yes, it is. And they're finding that it's doing weird things. There was an article in a law review a couple of weeks ago about how, a lot of these lawyers will go to AI to find case law for precedent, but it's like hallucinating and making things up, which is making things difficult. So
the citations are getting better. I use Perplexity a lot because it's always gives you source of where it's curating a bunch of content and then gives you the source where it got it. So I always go and click on, okay, where did this come from? Make sure it made sense. So it's an extra step, but it's important, I think, for most things that we create.
It is very important.